What is going on, everyone? As we welcome you guys in here to another edition. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, where I'll be doing my live play-by-play and live reactions of college basketball games, and I'll be doing this throughout the season and, of course, into the March Madness tournament. And before I get started with tonight's game, feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel as well. So tonight's game got a pretty good Pac-12 matchup in store for tonight as the Washington Huskies are riding an 11-game winning streak as they take it onto the road now as they'll play in Tucson against the Arizona Wildcats, who's trying to get back to winning themselves. So we look to both of these teams here as Arizona on a record of 14-8 this season, 5-4 in the Pac-12. At home, however, they're 10-2 overall. They've lost the past 3 games for the Arizona Wildcats this season, but all those past 3 games have been on the road, and the last loss was a devastating one. It was at Arizona State last Thursday where they lost that game in overtime. We're about 5 minutes or so away from tip-off, so before we get into the play-by-play live reactions of the game stuff, I'll go over a little bit of both of the team information before I get into the game. So Arizona, the past 3 games, all losses. They were on the road at USC. They got clobbered there, lost 80-57. Then they played against UCLA at Los Angeles, lost that game 90-69. And then on the road a week ago, lost against the Sun Devils in Tempe, 95-88 in overtime. Arizona, they've won the past 4 straight home games, however, against the Washington Huskies. And out of the past 10 games, the Arizona Wildcats have won 9 out of the past 10 games against the Washington Huskies, as Arizona right now is on the bubble, just right outside an at-large spot in the tournament projection fields in the last projection on ESPN's bracketology with Joe Lunardi, as most likely this season, possibly 2 teams from the Pac-12 will be into this tournament, as it's looking like, as Washington has been the team all season long that's been really, really hot inside the Pac-12, and Arizona State right now is on the bubble along with Arizona. As we have about a couple minutes here before pregame, as since the 2012-2013 season, the Arizona Wildcats are 95-5 at home in their past 100 games, so a fabulous record for them. As Arizona, they average the least amount of turnovers per game out of any of the teams right now in the Pac-12. They average 11.3 turnovers per game. We have to update you guys on this. We had an injury update from the last game against Arizona State, and this is a key contributor here for the Wildcats. It's the freshman guard Brandon Williams, who he'll be out in tonight's game, and he's also been rolled out for Saturday's matchup as well against Washington State, as Brandon Williams went down with a right knee injury that he suffered last Thursday in the loss to Arizona State, as Brandon Williams leads the Wildcats in assists this season, and he's 3rd on the team in scoring. So that's a big loss for Arizona, but good thing as well as Chase Jeter is back on the team from injury, that he injured himself. I think it was January 19th against Oregon State. He missed a couple of games there. That's where Arizona really got beat up on the road against USC, UCLA, but Jeter came back and played a little bit against Arizona State last Thursday. As we look to the key players for tonight, it has to be the man who's filling in for the injured Brandon Williams, and that would be the junior guard Dylan Smith, who right now is shooting 46% from 3-point range in his 9 conference games this season. That's good for 6th right now in the Pac-12 conference from 3-point range. As also, you got to look forward to the shooting guard as well, or the point guard for this one will be Justin Coleman for Arizona, who right now he had a season high 9 assists last week against Arizona State, and then sophomore guard Brandon Randolph, he scored double digits in 20 out of the 22 games this season. He's another player to look out for the Wildcats. He averages 15 points per game as he leads the team for Arizona in scoring this season. We'll flip the script here to the Washington Huskies, whose currently 18-4, undefeated in the Pac-12 right now, 9-0 on the season, 4-2 on the road. They're riding that 11-game winning streak as they came off their last win against UCLA, won that game 69-55, and their leader for that game had to be Matisse Thybulle, who tied with a season-high 7 steals in that one, as this is the 82nd meeting between Washington and Arizona. Arizona is leading the series 52-29, as you have to go all the way back to January 28th, 2012. That was the last time that the Washington Huskies beat the Arizona Wildcats in Tucson, and that score was 69-67. Washington's 9-0 start in Pac-12 play. That's the best start that it's ever been since the 1952-1953 season, when the Washington Huskies started out 14-0 that year. So, wow, it's been over 60 years since Washington had a 9-game winning streak to start off conference play. As we look to a couple more facts before we get into tip-off very shortly, as 7 of Washington's 9 Pac-12 games have been by double-digit points or more for Washington. Now, that's the most double-digit wins in league action for the Pac-12 since the 2010-2011 season. And we look to the key players tonight, and that has to be the turnover factor. Senior guard Matisse Thybulle, he recorded back-to-back games with 7 steals. That was against USC and UCLA. Thybulle is the only player in Washington basketball history to record back-to-back games with at least 7 steals. He's going to be a factor tonight, as Thybulle's tied for first right now in all of college basketball, averaging 3.2 steals per game. He has 71 steals this season. He's the only player right now in college basketball averaging at least 2 blocks and 3 steals per game. Another player to watch out for tonight for the Washington Huskies will be the sophomore guard Jalen Noel, as he was selected out of one out of 10 finalists for the Naismith Jerry West Shooting Guard of the Year award, as right now Jalen Noel is shooting 51.9% from the floor coming into this game this season, as right now Jalen Noel leads the Washington Huskies with 16.6 points per game on average. As we're a couple of minutes away from tip-off over here, I'll be doing live play-by-play and reactions of the Washington Huskies versus the Arizona Wildcats here in Tucson. Should be a good game. Arizona currently on the bubble right now. This would be a big win for them tonight if they're able to do it at home to snap Washington's 11-game winning streak. Washington currently undefeated in Pac-12 play at 9-0. So I've gone over a little bit of the pregame introductions here. I'll get into some of the team stats here. We'll look to the strength of schedule, as the Pac-12 could be carrying one team, possibly 2, into the March Madness tournament. Come March, we'll see who gets there, but Washington looks like the clear-cut favorite right now, undefeated in Pac-12 play. Behind them will be Arizona State, with the win last week against Arizona last Thursday that got them there, as they beat the Wildcats in overtime. But I'll look to the scoreboard right now. I'm going to update you guys on this halftime score. So Washington State against Arizona State, they're currently playing right now, and the Sun Devils are losing by 17 at home against the Washington State Cougars, who right now Washington State has a record of 8-14, 1-8 in Pac-12 play. So this is definitely going to help out Arizona. That Arizona State right now is getting absolutely walloped by Washington State currently. So Arizona needs a little bit of help, and to get into the tournament, they can overwrite that Arizona State value and put themselves in front. As we're a couple minutes here away from tip-off, we'll get into some of the facts here. So the strength of schedule for the Washington Huskies, currently 57th toughest strength of schedule right now. Their net ranking currently sits at 28th in the nation. However, games versus the top 25, Washington has yet to win a game against the top 25, 0-3 this season. They lost to Auburn by 22 points early in non-conference play. Auburn got themselves knocked out of the top 25, so that doesn't help out Washington that much. And then they lost at number four Gonzaga, which was a close game. They lost to them by 2 points. And then the The last loss for the Washington Huskies happened on December 15th, and that was against number 11 Virginia Tech, where they lost to them by 12, 73-61. And we'll look to the Arizona Wildcats here before we get into the tip-off. So they're 0-2 with their record against the top 25. They also lost to Gonzaga, but they got walloped by a pretty good margin. Lost that game 91-74. Then they lost to Auburn as well, and they got walloped against them as well. 73-57 as we're underway here with a tip-off from Tucson. The Arizona Wildcats at home against the Washington Huskies. Arizona with the ball first. Behind the three-point line now at the top of the key. Ball in his hand, dribbling with it at the top of the key. Brandon Randolph, right wing three, and it rims out by Dylan Smith, who really needs to step up today for the injured Brandon Williams, who's out tonight and out against Washington State. Rebounded by Washington. So now the Huskies have the ball in the black jerseys with a purple lettering, gold outline as they're working the ball inside for Washington, and it'll be an offensive foul called on the Huskies, and the ball will go back to Arizona. So early foul on the first possession by Washington, and the ball will go back to Arizona with 19:20 left to go in the first. Arizona takes the ball past the timeline now, and passing around the perimeter. Brandon Randolph, left wing behind the arc, and the ball is almost stolen by Thibault, and it is, as Washington takes it to the rack up and in. So there goes the turnovers early in this one, as Washington will force you to turn the ball over, and the Huskies are up 2-0. Arizona now with the ball, trying to dribble inside, and a block in there by Washington, and the ball goes out of bounds. So Washington currently second in the nation right now in total blocks behind Duke. And Matisse Thibault right now with 276 career steals. He leads all of college basketball right now. So Arizona will get the inbound as they're behind the perimeter. Right wing now, behind the perimeter, passing the ball. Top of the key to the inside, and another steal by Thibault. He already has 2. Right wing three from the outside. No good by Washington. Rebounded by Jeter of Arizona, and the ball gets taken up past the timeline now for the Wildcats. Because now they're moving the ball around the perimeter towards the right side. Justin Coleman with it. Feeds the ball inside to Jeter. Jeter backs his way inside with a spin move up and in off the glass. Up and good by Chase Jeter. But he gets... No, the refs will call it traveling before that. So it'll be a turnover by Arizona. So the basket, which was good, will not count. Because Chase Jeter traveled with the ball inside, and it'll be a turnover back to Washington. So Washington's already forced a couple of turnovers, and we're not even 2 minutes into this game. Huskies with the ball now, trying to dribble. Kicks the ball out towards the left corner. With it now at the left wing with the ball. Jalen Noel trying to drive inside for Washington, and he also turns the ball over inside on the double dribble as he tried to fake out a defender, and the ball will go back to the Wildcats with 17:53 left to go in the first. So a lot of turnovers early in this one. Only 2-0 Washington. Arizona now with the ball. Inside a low post. A shot could not go. He airballed it. That was Ryan Luther. Airballed that. Rebounded by Washington now. Towards the left wing with his thigh ball. Takes the deep three, and he swooshes it from the outside. Matisse Thibault. Now with Washington up 5-0 against Arizona. Wildcats with the ball now towards the right wing behind the perimeter. Dylan Smith with the ball. He passes the ball off right wing, and the ball goes top of the key back to Smith. Passes the ball left wing behind the arc, and left elbow three at one point could have happened for Ryan Luther, but he kicked the ball back out. Left corner three, no good. Rimmed out by Brandon Randolph. Rebounded by Washington. Washington takes the ball past the timeline now. Left wing behind the arc with the ball is David Crisp, and they're passing it off. Right wing now with the ball is Thibault, and the ball almost gets stolen the White Thibault. Tips it back in, but the refs say it was the last touch by Thibault and out of bounds, so the refs do rule that the ball was out of bounds. And Arizona will get the ball back. So Matisse Thibault has 122 straight starts, which is a Washington Huskies record. Arizona with the ball now with 16:48 left to go in the first. Jeter inside, and he gets the first basket off. Up and good off the glass for the Wildcats. So Washington's up 5-2 right now. 16:38 left to go. Washington with the ball as it's David Crisp who hands the ball off. And going inside is Jalen Noel. And he could not get the courtesy of the rim. Rebounded by Dylan Smith of Arizona. Arizona with 16:20 left to go in the first. They take it past the timeline. Passing the ball now. Right wing with it. Justin Coleman. Coleman passes back the ball to Smith. Feeds the ball left corner here to Ryan Luther. Back to Smith. And it's another steal by Washington. 2-on-1. And we got ourselves a foul inside the low post. So David Crisp that time with a steal, and he was Washington trying to score the other way, and Crisp went into the lane, and he actually got picked up with an offensive foul. So the refs discussed that, and they ruled an offensive foul by Washington, and the ball will go back to Arizona. So Arizona now with the ball, only down 5-2. 15:53 left. Jeter, low post, good. So Chase Jeter responsible for all 4 points so far for the Wildcats. And big points as he came back from injury last week against the Sun Devils as he missed 2 of the games on the road for Arizona due to injury. Washington with the ball now, 15.5 left to go in the first. Thibault dribbling now at the top of the key, passes off to Jalen Noel. Now the ball goes into the low post, and it's up and in for Washington off the glass. With it, that's David Crisp, who hits that one home. He had 15 points against UCLA on Saturday. 4 for 7 from behind the arc that game for Crisp. As Arizona has the ball, and they just turned it over as they threw the ball right corner to the right wing next to the baseline, and the ball goes out of bounds. So the first timeout on the floor, as the score is Washington 7, Arizona 4, with 15:04 left to go in the first. This is Behind the Arc basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe, as I'll be doing live play-by-play, live reactions all season long to college basketball games. So don't miss a beat with me, and feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. I'll update you guys in the chat here during this timeout as well. This game just started. I'm going to start looking into the box score and see how both of the teams are doing so far. As I'm curious to see that turnover margin right now for both of these teams. So let's see. Washington shooting the ball from the field right now, 3 for 5, while Arizona's 2 for 6 shooting the ball from the field. And the turnovers, yeah, hey, both of the teams have 4 turnovers apiece so far. So, yeah, even in that matchup, and 2 blocks already by the Huskies. We'll see at the leading scores for both of these teams. Matisse Thibault has 5 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks. So, yeah, wow. So, yeah, responsible there for the turnovers, Matisse Thibault for Washington, which right now he's tied for first in the nation in steals. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I'm just going to go over my stats here. So, yeah, so Matisse Thibault, second right now in the Pac-12 in blocks. He averages 2.1 blocks per game and is leading the conference, averaging 3.2 steals per game. And he's also right now tied for first in all college basketball in that category. So that's absolutely crazy. Last year, he was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. We look to the stats right now for Arizona early in this game, and all 4 points have been scored by Chase Jeter, who is a perfect 2 for 2 right now inside the low post. So if you're just joining us, the score right now, Washington 7, Arizona 4. We are just on a commercial break with 15:04 left to go. We're going to return momentarily. This is Behind the Arc basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. I do play-by-play and live reactions to college basketball season games, and I'll be doing this throughout the rest of the season and, of course, into the March Madness tournament. And feel free to let me know who you're rooting for as well tonight, as we're almost underway here with the next inbounds pass. So Arizona down by 3. And Arizona's going to get the inbound. So the Wildcats of Arizona are in their white home jerseys with their blue and red lettering. The ball is thrown inside the low post and off the hands of Ira Lee, and it'll be a turnover once again for the Wildcats. So Washington will get the ball back, and the Washington Huskies in their away black uniforms with the purple lettering and the yellow outline on that, as they have the ball at the right wing right now. Within now dribbling towards the top of the key, left wing with the ball is David Crisp. Throws the ball inside to Noah Dickerson. And it's another turnover by Washington, as Dickerson was bumped inside, but the refs won't call a foul, so the ball will go back to the Wildcats. Sean Miller, the head coach of Arizona, in his 10th season as head coach with a record of 261 wins, 82 losses. Good for a winning percentage of 76.1%. As Arizona now with the ball, low post, Chase Jeter gets it up and in. He has all 6 points so far for the Wildcats. 7-6. Huskies up by 1. Now to inbound the ball. 14-13 left to go. Washington takes the ball past the timeline now towards the top of the key with it. Noah Dickerson. Now he passes the ball off to Jalen Noel, who leads this team in scoring, who sets up the offense. 13 on the shot clock. 13:58 left to go. Noel feeds the ball left. Outside. Oh, he got the shot to fall. Wow. So that one was a friendly roll right there from the corner by Matisse Thibault, and it got it to fall. Wow. So Generous went off the rim, bounced off the backboard, and back to the rim, and got it to fall. And right there with a low baseline jumper, that one is good for Arizona. So now the score is 10-8. Chase Jeter just got that last basket again for the Wildcats. He has all 8 points tonight. Washington with the ball now at the top of the key. Noah Dickerson passes the ball now to Noel, and that's an errant throw out of bounds, as right there, that ball was just thrown over like completely like 5 feet above his teammate's head right there inside, and the ball will go back to Arizona. So if you're just joining us, Arizona with the ball with 13:06 left to go, and the Huskies of Washington are up by 2. Wildcats with the ball now at the free throw circle, passes the ball left wing, and now towards the top of the key, takes the baseline jumper, and no good, rattles out, but a big offensive rebound by Ira Lee there to save his teammate Dylan Smith, who took that jumper. Now they're passing around, trying to go baseline with his Justin Coleman. He dribbles baseline. He's still with the ball as he dribbles outside now. 12:40 left to go in the first. And that ball is off a Washington Huskies shoe, and it just skyrocketed all the way up. So the refs rolled out with a kicked ball with 12:39 left to go in the first. Arizona gets the inbound now. Justin Coleman with the ball and passes off to Alex Barcelo, who's in off the bench now. Back to Coleman. Coleman passes it off top of the key now with Dylan Smith. Trying to dribble inside. Dylan Smith can't get it off the glass. And we've got a foul on the rebound by Ira Lee, it looks like, of Arizona, as off the Dylan Smith miss. So the rebound will go back to Washington. So we have 12:20 left to go in the first, and the Huskies with the ball now as they pass the right side of the timeline with the ball. And we got a timeout here on the floor with a second foul picked up by Ira Lee. So 2 quick fouls picked up by the 6'7" sophomore from Los Angeles, California, Ira Lee. Washington with the inbounds now. Right wing outside with Jamal Bay, and he hands the ball off. It's to Jalen Noel, and right there as he throws it out, the ball could not go in the cup as the left wing three almost went down, and the rim was not courteous to him. as that was a miss by David Crisp. Rebounded by Arizona now. In transition, right corner three. Shoots it up from the outside. No good by Justin Coleman. Offensive rebound by Jeter. It's stolen away. Washington with the ball now. Up 10-8. 11:45 left to go. The feed to Thibault. Inside, and Thibault's rejected by Jeter. But we have a timeout on the floor. Or that was Ira Lee who actually got the block right there. So number 11, Ira Lee, with a huge block from behind on Matisse Thibault. We have a timeout on the floor once again. And I'll update the chat once more. So this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe, as well as what I do is play-by-play and live reaction to college basketball games. And I'll be doing this throughout the regular season and, of course, into the March Madness tournament. So don't miss a beat here with me. We got a pretty good game so far. Lots of defense in here and quite a bit of turnovers as well. Scoring hasn't been that much. Washington 10, Arizona 8, with 11:32 left to go in the first. So we're on this commercial break right here. I'll just look into the box score and see who's leading the scoring for both of the teams. Matisse Thibault right now with 8 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals, as he's second in the nation right now in steals per game, as he averages just above 3 steals per game, already has 2, and we're not even through the halfway point in this first half. So 8 out of the 12 points by Matisse Thibault of Washington. Arizona right now, their only 8 points have been scored by Chase Jeter, who's perfect right now from the floor at 4 for 4 shooting. So we're back, almost back to action here, as Arizona has 2 fouls as a team, and Washington currently with 1. I'll introduce both of the coaches here. Washington's head coach, Mike Hopkins, in his second season, has a record of 39-17 overall. That's good for almost a 70% winning percentage, as his Washington Huskies were ranked number 25 in this year's AP Top 25 preseason polls. We're back to action here. Washington gets the inbound with 11:38 left to go. The ball goes into the hands of David Crisp now, and he feeds the ball off to Jamal Bay in the game, and the ball's thrown inside, and the shot falls for, Jalen Noel got that one to fall right there with a floater inside. So Washington up 12-8. Arizona with the ball, and wow, that one was almost stolen as well on that pass by Arizona. Luckily got there. Dylan Smith now with the ball, and we do have the second foul picked up by Washington with 11:17 left to go. So now we're back to action. Arizona with the ball now at the top of the key. With it is Ira Lee, who's dribbling, and he hands the ball off now to Devonair Dutry, who's in the game. Ball goes into the low baseline and is tipped out of bounds by Washington. So Arizona will get the inbound back with 11:05 left to go in the first. So the Wildcats get the inbound. Ball goes to Ira Lee. Throws the ball off to Ryan Luthers, dribbling inside, kicks the ball back outside, right corner with the ball on right wing 3. Oh, he got it off the backboard, up and in. Dylan Smith, when that shot left his hands, I couldn't believe that he was shooting that one. That looked like the ball was way off, but it hit the top of the backboard, and it fell right into the cup. So Arizona only down by 1 right now, 12-11. Washington with the ball, left wing. From behind the perimeter now at the left corner now. Back to the left wing. Jalen Noel with the ball, leading the team in scoring, averaging above 16 points per game. Throws the ball right wing with it. Naz Carter, who's the nephew of Jay-Z. Top of the key 3. No good. Rimmed out. Rebounded by Luther of Arizona as the ball goes past the timeline here for the Wildcats. So Alex Barcelo has the ball at the top of the key now for Arizona. Passes the ball off to Yep, that's Dylan Smith now with it, and it goes back to Barcelo. Barcelo kicks the ball out to the left corner to Devonair Dutrieve, and the ball goes out of bounds as it was tipped out of bounds by Washington. So if you're just joining us, Washington's up 12-11 with 10 minutes and 2 seconds left to go. Arizona will get the ball back on the inbound, and we thank you all for joining me here. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, and I do live play-by-play reactions to college basketball games throughout the season. So Arizona now with the ball, trying to dribble baseline, kicks the ball outside now, left wing with the ball, and the ball's fed back outside now. Lots of perimeter passing here, and the ball stolen by Washington now. Washington with the ball and trying to go as he's driving into the lane, and the shot was blocked, so it was Naz Carter who got the steal, and he was driving into the lane, and Arizona blocked the shot. So we have 9 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in the first. The Huskies are up by 1, 12-11. Naz Carter's the nephew of Jay-Z. Now Washington with the ball with the inbounds, as that was Jalen Noel. Kicked the ball back outside and now trying to dribble inside it. Noah Dickerson into the lane. The shot won't go down, but Dickerson is fouled. And we'll see if Dickerson goes to the line for 2, as Mike Hopkins spent 22 seasons as the assistant coach at Syracuse before he came in to coach the Washington Huskies. So Hopkins now in the second year, and yes, indeed, Dickerson will go to the line. Shoots 71% from the charity stripe this season, and he hits his first. So the first shot goes down for Noah Dickerson of Washington. The Huskies are up 13-11. Second shot by Dickerson. That one goes down as well. So the Washington Huskies currently up 14-11 against the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona with the ball now off the inbound. Takes it past the timeline. With the ball in his hands is Devonair Dutrieve, who passes the ball off now. Top of the key with the ball is Justin Coleman. Throws the ball off right wing with it. Dylan Smith trying to look for somebody who's open. Finally does. As they pass the ball around the perimeter. Top of the key with Smith now. Passes the ball off right wing with it. And that's a rejection on a shot by Brandon Randolph, as Washington just denied Randolph right there. With a rejection was Jalen Noel of the Huskies. But the ball went out of bounds as Noel tried to save it as well. So Arizona will get the inbound. 4 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Deep 3 taken by Dylan. Oh! Dylan Smith hits the long 3 ball from the outside to tie this one up at 14. Oh my goodness, he hits the 32-footer. We're knotted up at 14, 8:46 left to go in the first. Washington with the ball right now. Thibault with the ball at the left wing behind the perimeter, dribbling with the ball towards that Arizona logo. Passes the ball off now to Jalen Noel, who leads the Huskies in scoring now. Passes that ball off. Left wing, trying to dribble baseline with it's Naz Carter. And he steps out of bounds. So, right there, the ball will go back to Arizona. But we look at this replay. They had time running off on the shot clock, and just a huge 3 by Dylan Smith from way outside. So, Arizona will get the inbound. With 8:25 left to go in the first. Lots of defense so far in this game. Not a whole lot of offense. And quite a bit of turnovers as well. So Arizona with the ball now. They take it past their logo. Left wing dribbling with the ball is Justin Coleman. Passes the ball off to Brandon Randolph. Feeds the ball inside to Jeter. He kicks the ball back out to Randolph. Randolph trying to dribble inside, and a rejection from behind by Washington. Just another block by the Huskies. And the ball will go back to Washington as well with 8:06 left to go in the first. So Washington on their 11-game winning streak. That's the 3rd longest active streak right now in all college basketball. Now with the ball for the Huskies is Jalen Noel at the right wing. Throws the ball inside to the low post. Trying to back his way inside is Hamir Wright. Kicks the ball back outside left wing. With the ball in left elbow. Deep 2 jumper. No good by Washington. Rebounded by Arizona. So now the Wildcats have the ball back as Arizona's won the 9 out of the past 10 games at home against Washington. It's Arizona right now dribbling with the ball is Dutrieve, and looks like we have a timeout on the floor. So we have 7:28 left to go in this game. We're tied up at 14. I'll update the chat here with a score. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel as well. We'll be back after the break, and I'll update the score here with the latest score, and I'll give you guys a run through the box score of what's been going on so far in this one. So yeah, I haven't done any team stats yet, besides early in the game, so we'll look at that right now. So Washington shooting the ball 41.7% from the field. Arizona is shooting the ball 42.9% from the field. Both of the teams are 2 for 5 right now from behind the arc. Washington's perfect on their 2 free throws so far from the charity stripe. 9 rebounds for Arizona, out-rebounding Washington, who has 5 currently. But as we get into the turnovers, both of these teams nearing double-digit turnovers already in this one. Arizona has turned over the ball 8 times. Washington has turned over the ball 7 times so far in this one. 3 steals by the Huskies and 3 blocks as well by Washington. We'll look into the box score here since we're on this commercial break. We'll see that Matisse Thybulle is leading Washington right now in the scoring. He has 8 points, as he's also 2 for 3 from behind the arc shooting the ball. He has 2 blocks, 2 steals as well. And for Arizona, leading the scoring will be Chase Jeter, who has 8 out of the 14 points. The first 8 points scored in this game were all by Jeter down in the low post, as Jeter is still a perfect 4 for 4 shooting in this one. Dylan Smith for Arizona, he's chipping in right now with 6 points. He's 2 for 3 shooting from behind the arc, so he's been getting going as a late, helping out the Wildcats in this one, and he needs to be a big help, filling in for the injured Brandon Williams, who went down for Arizona with a right knee injury last Thursday against Arizona State. As Brandon Williams is out for tonight's game, and he'll miss the contest against Washington State on Saturday as well. So we're back to action here on the inbound for Arizona, and the ball is stolen away by Washington. One man to beat on the steals, Naz Carter. And he turned it over. So right there with a steal for Washington, they had a goal chance, and he just took it too far next to the baseline, and it was a turnover out of bounds. Thybulle is on the bench right now for Washington, as well as Matisse Thybulle is currently tied for first right now in all college basketball in steals per game, as he averages 3.2 steals per game. Arizona tried to go down and score as Brandon Randolph tried to go for the layup inside and just lost control of the ball out of bounds. So the ball will go back to Washington. And now back into the game is Thybulle with 7:09 left to go in the first. We're tied up at 14. As the Huskies take the ball past the Arizona logo now with the ball, David Crisp passes the ball off to Thybulle. In the game, he has 8 points so far. Dominic Green off the bench now for Washington. He passes the ball, and now the ball goes back into the low post, and the shot cannot go for Noah Dickerson. With 6:51 left to go, we had an offensive foul there. So Washington will get their 3rd foul of the night. Arizona has 4. So Noah Dickerson working on Jeter with a spin move inside a low post. Just too much elbow right there. Just gets called for the offensive. So Arizona now with the ball. 6:42 left to go in the first. Wildcats with the ball. Jeter, jumper, low post, and no, rimmed out, and try to tip it back, but no, Washington gets the ball. Trying to drive in a huge block by Jeter. Going up against David Crisp. absolutely huge block by Chase Jeters. David Crisp got the tipped ball by Arizona to try to take it all the way off the court. So Washington now will inbound it with 6:32 left to go in the first. Looking for somebody's open. And they do. Left corner three. No, it rimmed out from the outside by Naz Carter. Rebounded by Jeter of Arizona, as Arizona now has the ball, pushing tempo, trying to go inside, and the ball short of the rim by Brandon Randolph. Fight for the ball as there's a pile of bodies for the ball. Arizona gets it back now as they pass the ball to the perimeter, trying to drive inside, up and in off the glass, and it's good for the Wildcats. Number 12, Justin Coleman, got that one to fall, and Arizona takes the lead at home. So, wow, so that ball was rolling on the floor next to the baseline. It was picked up by a Wildcats. They chucked it back outside. Justin Coleman got the ball, blew past a couple of defenders, put it in the cup, and now he's at the line for the 1-and-1, and he hits that one. So Arizona now extends their lead 17-14 as Washington has the ball with 6:06 left to go in the first. The Huskies now as Thibault passing the ball to David Crisp. Throws the ball out right corner with his Dominic Green back to the right wing behind the arcs. David Crisp. Crisp dribbling the ball, almost lost control of it. It's guarded by Coleman. Crisp now at the top of the key passes the ball off right wing behind the arc to Green. Passes the ball off to Crisp. Top of the key three. David Crisp from the outside sinks that one for the Huskies. We are knotted up at 17 apiece. 5:35 left to go in the first. David Crisp just hit his 227th career three-pointer for the Huskies. Now with the ball trying to dribble inside into the low post is Chase Jeter. Could not get it to fall. Teammate there tried to get the putback and couldn't get that one to fall off the backboard. Too strong was Devonair Dutrieve. Rebounded by Washington as they take it past the timeline. David Crisp now. Right wing three by Crisp. And he could not go as he went down with the ball. No foul called. Arizona with a rebound. Try to dribble inside, and the lost control of the ball by Brandon Randolph, but he was fouled as well. So Arizona will go to the line for two. So was it Randolph here? Or, well, no, Dutrieve, number 1. So I was looking at the jersey. It looked like a 5, but the rest will roll that. It'll be Devonair Dutrieve who will go to the line for 2 for Arizona. So this game's tied up at 17. Dutrieve with his first shot from the line. It goes off the top of the rim, off the top of the backboard, and it's out. So we're tied up at 17. Matisse Thibault just checked out for the Washington Huskies. He has 2 fouls with 8 points so far. So second shot from the line here by Dutrieve of Arizona, shooting the ball at 55.6% from the line. Sinks his second one right there. So Arizona takes the lead back 18-17. We have 5 minutes left to go in the first. Washington with the ball. David Crisp passes the ball off at the top of the key. Jalen Noel now right wing with the ball. Naz Carter trying to dribble inside baseline and gets it in off the glass. Up and in for Naz Carter. So Washington takes back the lead 19-18. Arizona with the ball. Now Dutrieve has it, top of the key, throws the ball low post to Ira Lee. Lee spinning his way in there, and the shot cannot go. The tip in cannot go by Arizona. Tip back out, right wing three. No good, rimmed out by Brandon Randolph. And Washington will get the possession arrow on the tie-up as Arizona and Washington were both tied up right there on the rebound. So we have 4:25 left to go in the first, and Washington's up 19-18. So the Huskies will take the ball past the timeline here now. As David Crisp dribbling towards the Arizona logo, throws out the ball to Noel. Top of the key now with Noel, trying to dribble inside. Noel takes the fadeaway baseline jumper for the 2. Couldn't get it to fall, but is rebounded by Washington. As it's David Crisp who tried to take it inside. Arizona almost stole the ball right there, and we have another foul by the Wildcats as they try to take that loose ball to David Crisp's hands, but he fully secured it. So Arizona picks up their 5th foul with 3:59 left to go in the first, and Washington has 5 as a team so far tonight. So we have a timeout on the floor. I'll update the chat for you guys. Again, feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So we're in the timeout here, so I'll look into both of the team stats and see how both of these teams have been doing so far in this game. Washington shooting the ball 7 for 18 right now from the field. Arizona currently shooting the ball 7 for 20 from the field. As we look to the turnover game, here's another double-digit turnover that Washington's forced this season. This has been crazy. So Washington coming into this game has forced double-digit turnovers in their past 13 straight games, and that includes a season-high 23 forced turnovers in their last game on Saturday in the 69-55 win against UCLA. Looks like Washington will extend that streak to 14 tonight, as they've already done it, as Arizona's turned over the ball 10 times so far in this one. Washington's just like right there with them, however, as the Huskies have turned the ball over 9 times so far, as this has been a really low-scoring first half with 3:59 left to go. Both of the teams right now with 5 fouls as a team, 3 blocks for Washington and Arizona, but the key factor here has been the steals, as Washington has 4 steals tonight, and Arizona only has 1 so far. As we do have a game update. It's Gonzaga pulling out against San Francisco right now, 31-25. And how about this? Arizona State is trailing 69-46 currently against Washington State. That's huge for Arizona, saying that Arizona State just sits right in front of them inside the bubble picture. So this is big for the Wildcats to right now in the projected bracket, rooting for their rival, the Arizona Sun Devils, or Arizona State Sun Devils, to lose this game, because right now it's either one or the other projected in the tournament, as Washington sits firmly up at the top of the Pac-12 and looking at an 8 or a 9 seed come tournament time. As we're back to action here, as the Huskies have the ball at the right wing with Jalen Noel. Washington's up 19-18, trying to dribble baseline with a reverse hand layup. No good, but the ball's tipped back to Washington on the offensive rebound. Left wing 3 from the outside, and he drains it. Dominic Green from the outside for Washington to give the Huskies a 22-18 lead. Washington right now 50% from three-point range, 4 for 8 in this game. Arizona with the ball with 3:24 left to go in the first. Wildcats moving the ball around the perimeter, trying to dribble inside, the ball thrown inside to Ira Lee, and he cannot get the shot to fall, but we do have a foul picked up by Washington, so that'll be the 6th team foul by the Huskies. That was a shooting foul, so Arizona will be at the line. Ira Lee hits his first one. He's a 78% free throw shooter from the line this season. So the first shot went down by Ira Lee. Here's a second, and he nails that one too. So the score right now is 22-19. Washington up by 3 and make that 22-20 after Ira Lee sink both of them in. So 3:18 left to go in the first. Washington with the ball now. As now they have the ball towards the top of the key with it. Jalen Noel passes the ball off right wing behind the perimeter with his Naz Carter. Top of the key 3. No good from the outside. And Washington tried to tip it back for the offensive rebound. Couldn't get it to fall. Arizona with a rebound. Try to dribble past a group of defenders and lays it up and in. Justin Coleman. We're tied up at 22 once again. Coleman 5 points tonight. 2 for 3 shooting. As we have 2:42 left to go, and this game's tied up at 22. Washington with the ball now, passing around the perimeter. Jalen Noel towards the right wing from the outside, dribbling towards the top of the key. Feeds the ball off, left wing 3, outside, and it almost went down, but it rattled out, rebounded by Arizona as they take it past the timeline with Dylan Smith. filling in for the injured Brandon Williams as Smith throws the ball baseline, up and in off the glass. Ryan Luther gets that shot home, and Arizona's back up on top. And that forces Mike Hopkins of Washington to call a timeout with 2:15 left to go in the first. So I'll update the chat here again with the score, but Arizona is up 24-22, 2:15 left to go. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe as well. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So right now, Washington's down by 2. We have a couple lead changes here and there in this one, as Arizona's really been making things interesting. They've trailed by around 4 points throughout this one, and then they've come back. They've taken the lead, and then Washington takes the lead back. So yeah, interesting first half. Not a whole lot of scoring here, but a lot of good defense. Some pretty impressive blocks by both of these squads, and quite a bit of turnovers already, as Washington now has 14 straight games that they've forced 10 or more turnovers, as the Huskies have the ball now, try to dribble inside. Nice behind the back dribble, and sinks the shot up and in the low post on the jumper. Was Jalen Noel, the leading scorer coming into this game for the Huskies. So we're tied up at 24 again with 1:50 left to go. Arizona with the ball, as it's a low baseline jumper, rattles out for Ira Lee, and body's on the ground trying to get the ball. Washington does. So Washington gets the ball. They take it past the timeline. Right wing three from outside, and it hits the rim short by Dominic Green, but his teammate to pick him up there. And Washington hits the shot, so they're up 26-24. Jalen Noel hit that one as well. 1:25 left to go in the first. Arizona with the ball. So another lead change after the Jalen Noel basket. Ball thrown in low post, spin move to Jeter, and he's fouled. So Chase Jeter will go to the line for 2. The 6'10" junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, shooting 2 at the charity stripe. Chase Jeter, as he's 4th in the conference with shooting percentage, shooting 60.8% from the field, as he shoots 64.7% from the free throw line, and he sinks his first. Now we have checking back into the game would be number 15, Noah Dickerson. It looks like Sam Timmons checks out of the game as he picked up the last foul. Chase Jeter looking for double-digit points here, and he does. He has 10 tonight. This game's tied up at 26 as he hit both of his free throws. So we have 1:12 left to go in the first. Washington's with the ball now at the top of the key. Dribbling with us, Jalen Noel. Throws the ball off left corner with it, and now trying to go baseline for Washington. And we have another shooting foul, so the Huskies will go to the line, as Noah Dickerson was fouled underneath, and Chase Jeter will pick up the foul for Arizona. So it looks like Ira Lee will check in here in the game during the timeout, and now shooting 2 from the line for Washington. So here's the first shot, and no, it goes off the mark by the Huskies. As Chase Jeter will check out, Ira Lee will check back in. Noah Dickerson missed his first shot from the line. Shoots 70% on the season. Second one he sinks in, as Washington pulls ahead now with a 1-point lead. We have 1 minute left to go in the first. Arizona now with the ball. The Wildcats take it past the timeline. Now at the outside perimeter. Dylan Smith feeds the ball in. Jumper from the free throw circle. It goes down for Ryan Luther. The Wildcats take back the lead, 28-27. 41 seconds left to go in the first. Washington with the ball. Jalen Noel trying to dribble inside now in the low post, and he gets it off. Up and in off the glass by Jalen Noel. As Noel has 8 so far tonight, 4 for 5 from the field. 20 seconds left to go. Arizona towards the edge of their logo, towards the blue outline of the A, with 14 seconds left. With the ball is the point guard, Justin Coleman. 10 seconds left. Down by 1 for Arizona, 29-28. Throws the ball out to Brandon Randolph. Passes the ball to Dylan Smith. Trying to dribble inside with 3. Smith, stop and pop in the lane. He airballs out with 3 seconds, but we had a turnover there by Arizona by Smith inside on a travel. So Washington will get the ball back with 3 seconds. Trying to drop a play, and here's Washington. Takes the ball past the timeline. 0 seconds as the shot's thrown up, and it just rims out as it hit the right part of the backboard and the right part of the rim, as it was just off the mark by David Crisp. So now we're going into the halftime with the Washington Huskies up by 1 here in Tucson, as I'll update the score in the chat. But yeah, pretty good game so far. Not a whole lot of scoring early in that one, but as we picked up, the points were piling a little bit more. Towards the end of the half, a lot of turnovers by both of the teams in the first half. So we go to halftime. The Washington Huskies 29, the Arizona Wildcats 28. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe, and spread the message about my channel as well. So since we're at halftime here, I'll go into some of the box score stats with you guys, and we'll check the scores here at halftime as well. Pretty interesting Arizona State Washington State game as well. We'll check in on that score and all the other Pac-12 action and other top 25 games as well. So we look to the leading scores here at halftime, and we see the Washington Huskies are up by 1 here at the half, as it looks like Matisse Thybulle and Jalen Noel are leading the scoring right now for Washington, both with 8 points at the half. Thybulle has 2 steals, 2 blocks to add to his name as well at the half. Jalen Noel with 3 rebounds, as he's tied for the team lead with David Crisp right now with rebounds. As we look to the leading scoring at halftime for the Arizona Wildcats, Chase Jeter already in double-digit scoring mode. He has 10 points at the half, 2 blocks as well by Jeter. Coming in second right now in the scoring at halftime for Arizona would be Dylan Smith with 6 points, as Arizona needs a lot more Dylan Smith tonight. Coming in for the injured Brandon Williams, as he's out tonight, and Williams will be out on Saturday in the contest against Washington State, as he suffered a right knee injury last Thursday in the loss against Arizona State, as that's been a big loss for Arizona. As Brandon Williams is he's coming into this game the 3rd leading scorer right now on the Arizona Wildcats, and he also dropped 20 points against Arizona State back on January 19th. But Arizona Oregon State back on January 19th for Brandon Williams. But yeah, Arizona here, they've been managing their own right now and keeping up with the #1 team in the conference, the Washington Huskies, as this is a 1-point game at the half. We'll look into some of the other stats right now, as I see a box score that just updated. So Iowa against Indiana, and the score's 44-36 at the half, with number 20 Iowa up against Indiana there. Indiana trying to get back on the track after they snapped their 7-game losing streak with a win on Saturday against Michigan State. So they beat them. Michigan State's lost 3 in a row now. So we'll look to some of these team stats since we're here at the half. Washington shooting the ball from the field, 11 for 25 in this one at halftime, good for 44% from the field. Arizona is shooting the ball 10 for 25 right now as we're at the half. 3-point range, the Huskies nailing 4 out of 11 shots from the 3-point range, as Arizona is shooting 2 for 6 from behind the arc, We look to the free throw line stats here since we're at halftime. Arizona is 6 for 7 shooting from the charity stripe. Washington is 3 for 4 as we thank you for tuning in here. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. Spread the word, and feel free to let me know who you got in this game as well as, Washington currently on a 14-game streak that they forced an opponent into 10 turnovers or more, and they're already continuing that streak tonight. So now they've made it 14 as they came into the game with that 13-game streak, and they've already forced 11 Arizona Wildcat turnovers in this one at the half. Washington has 9 turnovers for their team. So a lot of turnovers here by both of these squads early in this game. 4 steals by Washington, 3 blocks as well, adding into that. We got to look at the game update here with Ja Morant, Murray State playing against Eastern Illinois. As we're looking at the halftime report here, and looks like this game's tied up at 58 with 11:45 left to go in the second. So Murray State, the only way they can get into the NCAA tournament is winning the Ohio Valley Conference. And right now, they're tied up at home against Eastern Illinois. But Ja Morant has really taken college basketball by storm. He's projected to be a number 2 NBA draft pick right behind Zion come June. So right now, since we're at the half, we'll look at the Pac-12 standings. And we see that the Washington Huskies are way ahead of everybody else on the 3 games ahead of the Oregon State Beavers and Arizona State, and make that 4 games ahead of Arizona State after this one if Washington wins and Arizona State loses. Arizona State, their score didn't look too promising in the late going against Washington State. But yeah, Washington right now with a 9-0 record in the conference, 18-4 overall. They're basically the only team right now that looks like that they'll be in the tournament representing the Pac-12. There looks like there'll be a bubble team possibly in the Pac-12, but who will that be? We'll find out. As Oregon State and Arizona State's currently tied 6-3 in the conference. USC, Utah right behind at 6-4, and Arizona 5-4 in the conference. This would be a huge win tonight for the Arizona Wildcats at home if they do beat Washington here. So we'll look at the college basketball scoreboard since we're on commercial break. If you're just joining us, Washington's up by 1, 29-28 at the half against Arizona. So we'll look at the other Pac-12 games right now. As, this is an upset, a huge upset right now with 2:52 left to go in regulation. The Arizona State Sun Devils are getting demolished against Washington State right now, 82-59. So Arizona State comes off that huge win last Thursday in overtime that they beat Arizona 95-88. Lou Dort had a huge night that game for the Sun Devils, and now they're here losing against the worst team in the Pac-12 with a 1-8 record. The Washington State Cougars are the second to worst team as California's winless, as they're 0-10 inside the conference. But yeah, Washington State, and they just scored again, so they're at the free throw line right now with 2:52 remaining. Washington State coming out of nowhere, up 84-59 against Arizona State. We have the late game, 10 p.m. Eastern time, will be Stanford against Oregon State. So Oregon State right now, they're like, actually, they could have that tournament consideration. 6-3 in the conference, 14-7 overall. They've been low key, really good this season. As this is an Oregon State Beavers team that you usually never see that often in the NCAA tournament. You never see Oregon State that much in the past decade or two, and right now they're currently sitting right behind Washington in the conference at 6-3 in Pac-12 play, 14-7 overall. So, yeah, Oregon State could be a potential pick as well. We'll see how that plays throughout the season. So, we do have some of the game updates to get you guys on. Number 12, Houston Cougars beating UCF, playing in Orlando for that game. So Houston wins by 11. Central Florida right now is currently on the bubble, along with Arizona, along with Texas, along with San Francisco, and there's a group of teams on the bubble as well. Indiana, Nebraska, Clemson. But yeah, Central Florida on the bubble, where they have the tallest player in college basketball, Taco Fall, who is 7'6", and I think he ranks like inside the top 10 in shooting percentage in college basketball right now. And Houston led behind Corey Davis Jr. with his 28 points tonight. Really got things going and got their 22nd win of the season. So Houston right now 12th in the nation with a record of 22-1 overall. And it looks like that other strong team in the American will be the Cincinnati Bearcats, and they beat the Memphis Tigers tonight at Memphis 69-64. Cincinnati was down throughout most of that game, as they were down at halftime 35-29, but they pulled out in the second half using a 40-29 advantage in the second half to storm back and win the game, as Jerron Cumberland led the team for the Bearcats with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, as Memphis in the upcoming years is trying to revitalize their college basketball program and trying to kick it back to what it used to be back in the mid-2000s or so, as they're going after a couple of big 4 or 5-star recruits in there, as they have like one of the strongest recruiting classes coming up for the Memphis Tigers. So they're trying to kickstart things back and get some really, really talented players in the program, but they're basically a year away from doing that. They're 13-10 right now, 5-5 in the American. And then at halftime, currently number 20 Iowa is up against Indiana 46-36. The Hawkeyes are leading Indiana. Iowa coming off that huge win against Michigan last Friday, beating Michigan and sending them to their second loss of the season, as right now the Iowa Hawkeyes are up by 10 at halftime. Indiana right now basically needs to like win out in order to be in this tournament bracket, as if they lose this game, they'll have their 10th loss of the season, and that would mean as well, I think that would mean like 8 losses out of the past 9 games for Indiana. So yeah, they're down by 10 right now. The Hoosiers coming off that big win last Saturday against Michigan State, who Michigan State's in trouble now. They lost against Illinois on Monday, where Illinois is like 3-8 in the conference or something like that, and like not even close to being a tournament team. But Illinois keeps on upsetting teams left and right. They upset Maryland a couple of weeks ago, then they upset Nebraska and kind of kicked them off the bubble, being an at-large bid, and now Nebraska is not even considered. And here's Indiana, who just shot past Nebraska with a big win against Michigan State, but not looking good. That Michigan State lost to Illinois on Tuesday. Now Indiana is right now losing at 10 at the half and trying not to get their 10th loss of the season as well. And we look to that other game, there's another bubble team, as last year the St. Mary's Gales got accepted into the NIT, and they had a record of 28-5 overall and went to the NIT. This season, that team could be San Francisco, and it doesn't look like they'll have 5 losses throughout the season, maybe 6, as right now San Francisco has a 17-5 record, as they're down against number 4 Gonzaga 43-30, as Gonzaga has the number 1 offensive team in the nation for points scored per game, led by Rui Hachimura. As right now Gonzaga sitting at 21-2 overall, 8-0 in the West Coast Conference, and they're up at the half by 13 against San Francisco. So Gonzaga beat San Francisco earlier in non-conference play back in January, and it looks like they'll do it again as they're up at halftime with a 13-point advantage. So we're almost back to action here with Washington and Arizona. Pretty good game in the first half, I'd have to say. Lots of turnovers, though, however, in this one. Arizona already has 11 turnovers inside that first half. Washington with 9. So this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel as well, and spread the message to my channel as well about my videos. And I'll be doing my live play-by-play, live reactions to college basketball games. I'll be doing this throughout the regular season and, of course, into the March Madness tournament. So we're almost back for action here in the second half. Arizona is in their white home jerseys with a red and blue outline, and Washington in their black away jerseys with the purple lettering, yellow or gold outline as we're back, and Arizona will get the inbound. They take it past the logo. Now with the ball is Justin Coleman. He throws the ball inside. Ira Lee floats the jumper. Was Ryan Luther. Couldn't get it to fall, but we already have a foul with 19:17 left to go in the second. So already the first foul picked up by Washington, and we're 13 seconds into the second half. So at the line, that was a shooting foul. So Chase Jeter will shoot 2 from the line, and he gets his 11th point of the night and ties it up at 29 with 19:47 left to go. Chase Jeter, he hit his first from the line. He's shooting 64.7% from the line this season. Second shot by Jeter, it goes down as well. So Arizona regains the lead. As since 2013-2014, Arizona has a record of 92 wins and 5 losses at the McHale Center. Washington with the ball now at the top of the key. Throws the ball. Left wing 3 from the outside, and it hits the rim short by Dominic Green. Rebounded by Arizona. Trying to take it past a group of defenders. Kicks it back outside. Right wing 3, and a short by Ryan Luther. Rebounded by Washington. So Washington's down 30-29, 19-19 left to go in the second. The ball thrown inside to Noah Dickerson. But we have a foul that was picked up by Chase Jeter of Arizona right before the shot. So Arizona will pick up their first foul of the second half with 19:17 remaining. Washington to inbounds. The Huskies gets it back, and they throw it in to the right wing, now to the top of the key. With the ball, David Crisp passes the ball off left wing with Jalen Noel. Noel now dribbling with the ball, looking for somebody who's open, throws the ball inside, and the ball goes to Noah Dickerson, who hits the ball up and off the glass, but it'll be an offensive foul called by Noah Dickerson, who's wondering why right there as he dropped his shoulder down as he was guarded by Brandon Randolph of Arizona. So the second foul picked up by the Huskies. Arizona now with the ball with 18:55 left to go. At the top of the key, passes the ball right wing. Now the right corner throws the right corner. Jay, no good, off the mark by Ryan Luther. Rebounded by Washington now with the ball as they pass the timeline here. Left wing 3, and it goes from outside. David Crisp hits that one for the Huskies, now up 32-30. So Washington with a 2-point lead. 18:31 left to go in the second, and the steal. The steal by Thibault. And he gets fouled as he tried a two-handed jam. And Ryan Luther gets charged with a foul. So Matisse Thibault has 3 steals in this one for Washington, as that pass was Dylan Smith. Tried to pass that one out to Luther, and it was just knocked away by Thibault as he tried to take it home to the rim, and he was fouled from behind the back. So Matisse Thibault will go to the line. He shoots 86% from that free throw line, and he hits his first. So Matisse Thibault has 9 points tonight. Washington's up 33-30. Second shot from the line. He drills that one as well, and Washington with a 34-30 advantage. Arizona now with the ball as they're pushing the ball around the perimeter. Now trying to dribble inside. The ball goes off the foot of Dylan Smith. And another steal by Washington. Trying to take it all the distance and lays it up and in with his right hand. For David Crisp, who now has double-digit points. 10 points for Crisp tonight. Washington up 36-30. Jeter trying to back his way inside the spin move. He stripped to the ball. Another steal by Washington. Wow. The Huskies up by 6 with the ball passing around the perimeter. 13 turnovers tonight by the Wildcats. Jalen Noel with the ball at the top of the key. Feeds the ball inside on the bounce pass. And another foul by Arizona. Chase Jeter picks up an additional shooting foul, and he's in trouble with 4. So Jeter right now leading the scoring for Arizona with 12 points. He also has 4 fouls. 1 more, and he's out of the game. So Washington will go to the line to shoot 2 with 17:38 left to go. Noah Dickerson at the line misses his first shot from the line. So Dickerson's 3 for 5 tonight, shooting from the free throw line. So now Chase Jeter's in foul trouble. Checks out of the game right now for Arizona. So now we have Noah Dickerson at the line for his second one. Hits the top of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Arizona. And it was a tie-up. So Washington will get the ball back here with 17:37 left to go. So if you're just joining us, the score right now, Washington has 36. Arizona has 30. As Chase Jeter is in some serious foul trouble for Arizona, as he's now on the bench right now. Washington on a 7-0 run in the last minute and 3. So the Huskies to inbound now, looking for somebody who's open, and they do. As they throw it out to the right corner, and the right elbow, 2. No good. Rebounded by Arizona here. So they have the ball. Brandon Randolph now dribbling. He passes the ball off and try to dribble his way inside with a jumper. A huge block by Washington, but they'll call it a shooting foul on Matisse Thybulle, as Thybulle right now is currently tied for first in all of college basketball in steals per game, as he averages 3.2 steals per game. He's also second in the conference in blocks with just above 2 blocks per game. So Arizona's at the free throw line with Justin Coleman, and he hits his first one. As this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. Spread the message about my channel as well. Second shot from the line by the point guard, Justin Coleman, goes down. Washington's up 36-32, and the Huskies have the ball. They take it past the timeline here. Into the hands of Matisse Thybulle. He passes the ball off left wing behind the perimeter. Feeds the ball inside. They kick it back outside. Washington moving the ball around the perimeter. Right corner 3, and it hits the rim short. Rebounded by Arizona. As they take it past the timeline with a burst of speed, Justin Coleman kicks the ball back outside. Arizona now throwing the ball around the perimeter. Coleman trying to dribble inside now. Oh, what a huge block inside. Woo! By Washington, and I'll get the ball back. So the Huskies now at the left wing, and now they throw the ball out of bounds. So a turnover by Washington with 16:44 left to go. So we have 16 minutes, 44 seconds left to go in regulation. Looks like Thybulle will check out of the game as he's on the bench right now for Washington. What a night he's had. 3 blocks, 3 steals as well. Actually, maybe a 4th to go along with it. I'll check the box score when we get back to the break. Arizona with the ball now. Top of the key 3 from the outside. And no, it couldn't go into the cup. And the ball was tipped out of bounds. Last touched by the Huskies. So Arizona will retain possession as they get the inbound back. So score right now, Washington is up 36-32. And the Wildcats will inbound. Ryan Luther passes the ball. Top of the key 3 from the outside. Hits the top of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Dylan Smith. Floats the shot up in the low post. No good. Another offensive rebound by Smith. Right wing 3. No good from the outside by Ryan Luther. And finally, it's a rebound by Washington as they take the ball past the timeline. Now trying to dribble inside with his Jalen Noel. Kicks the ball back outside. Left corner three from the outside. Sinks it. David Crisp. Nothing but net as Washington now has a 39-32 lead with 16:02 left to go in the first. As this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. Washington Huskies pulling away ever so slightly in this one, up 39-32 on this commercial break. So yeah, I'm curious to see these box score stats here since we're on break. But yeah, I'll go into the foul trouble here. So yeah, Matisse Thybulle he's second in the scoring right now for Washington. He's in a little bit of foul trouble though because he took a seat on the bench right before he went to the timeout. He has 3 fouls so far in this one, so not yet towards the fouled out mark, but he's trending towards that way, a little bit up. But yeah, Thybulle has 10 points, 3 fouls committed by him, 4 blocks now, and three steals as well for Matisse. And leading the scoring right now for Washington will be David Crisp, who has 13 points. And we'll look to Arizona right now. Chase Jeter, who's also in some serious foul trouble, leading the way for Arizona. He has 12 points. All the other guys just cannot get the shots to fall down. Tonight, Brandon Randolph has 0 points, 4 assists for Arizona. Randolph has yet to score in this game. 0 for 7 shooting tonight. 0 for 3 from the outside. Chase Jeter's leading the team for the Wildcats right now with 12 points. They need somebody else to step up in his places. He's on the bench right now with 4 fouls already in this one. The other big player would be Ira Lee, who has 2 fouls as well. So 2 of the tallest guys in the lineup. Chase Jeter is 6'10". Ira Lee is 6'7". Both of those guys are in some serious foul trouble. 6 fouls combined with those 2 players. They still have Ryan Luther though, who's 6'9" in the lineup. But yeah, the key to this one right now is just for Arizona just trying to climb back into this game, as Washington's got on to quite a run in the past. Like since the start of this half, Washington's got on to like quite a bit of a run in this one. Washington shooting the ball much better than Arizona. Washington right now shooting the ball at 45% from the field. Arizona shooting the ball at 30% from the field. We're almost back to action here, and the Wildcats are down by 7 right now, and they'll get the inbound. So we have 15:53 left to go. Arizona passing the ball around the perimeter with its Alex Barcelo, who passes the ball now to the top of the key with it. Is Justin Coleman back to Barcelo, and the ball fed inside to Lee, feeds the ball back outside to Coleman, now dribbling with the ball left wing outside, dribbling some more at the top of the key. Now they pass it towards the right baseline, floated up there, no good by Brandon Randolph. Offensive rebound in the tip in by Ira Lee. So Arizona, huge bucket there, and they're only down by 5, 39-34. Washington now with the ball. They take it past the timeline towards the left side. Jalen Noel with the ball. He passes the ball off now into the hands of Naz Carter, who's Jay-Z's nephew. Passes the ball to David Crisp from behind the arc now at the top of the key. Crisp with 7 on the shot clock. Top of the key 3. And no, could not go. Offensive rebound, though, by Washington. So they get the ball back. That was a huge offensive board there by the Huskies. So Jalen Noel will set up the offense here with 14:48 left to go in the second. Set the Arizona logo towards the red lettering part, now towards the blue part, and now towards the top of the key. Backs his way out of it towards the left wing now with the ball. 6 on the shot clock. as he's trying to dribble inside with Noel into the low post. Couldn't get it to fall, and another offensive rebound by Arizona. But a double dribble by Sam Timmons will lead to the turnover. So Arizona will get the ball back here with 14:29 left to go in the second. So we have a stoppage in time here on the court. So Arizona is only down by 5. Yeah, 39-34. As we do have a timeout on the floor, so I'll update the score once again. I'll get into the box score here in a little bit as well. So the Washington Huskies up 39-34 with 14:29 left to go. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe as well. So yeah, I'm just going to update these Pac-12 standings here since we're on this commercial break. And yeah, I'll see how far Arizona State dropped down with a huge shocker tonight, losing against Washington State. But thank you for joining me. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, where I do live play-by-play and reactions to college basketball games throughout the season. So yeah, Arizona State now 6-4 in the Pac-12 as they're 15-7 overall on the season, as that was a huge loss they suffered against Washington State today. They lost 91-70 at home in Tempe against the Washington State Cougars, who's second to last in the conference. Washington State, with that win, they didn't move up any position in the conference as well. They're still just ahead of California, who's the only winless team right now inside the Pac-12. So right now, Matisse Thybulle is on the bench for Washington. He has 10 points, 4 blocks, 3 steals, as he's the all-time steals leader in the history of the Washington Huskies, with a he currently has 279 steals in his career here at Washington. So we're back to action. Arizona now with the ball. Into the hands of Justin Coleman, dribbling with it, passes the ball off to Barcelo, and he loses control of the ball, but he gets the ball back. But it looks like it was last touched out of bounds by Arizona, as we do have a Washington Husky player who's down on the ground, but he does get back up, so that's good to see. That was David Crisp, who Crisp was going after the ball with Barcelo here, and it looks like on the replay it was last touched by Alex Barcelo of Arizona. So 15 turnovers tonight by Arizona on the season. They're first in fewest turnovers in the Pac-12 conference, averaging 11.3 turnovers per game, which is the least amount of turnovers in the Pac-12. Washington now inbounds the ball as they were trying to drive inside with David Crisp, but he loses the ball out of bounds, trying to plead his case to the ref that it was last tipped by Arizona. The refs will discuss to see who is last out by. And I'll say that it will be Washington ball. So, yeah, Crisp was trying to go inside 2 Wildcat defenders there. Brandon Coleman, who touched the ball, but it looks like Crisp got the ball back in his hands, but the refs didn't go to replay or anything about that, but it looked like the ball was thrown out of bounds by David Crisp, as right now Sean Miller's pleading his case for Arizona to the refs. So we have 13 minutes, 53 seconds left to go, and the refs meet. They'll say that it's still Washington's ball. And Washington inbounded, and Arizona just swatted it. It was almost stolen away by Dylan Smith. But the ball did go out of bounds. So we'll try that again. 13:53 left to go. 7 on the shot clock when Washington inbounds this ball. As the Huskies are up 39-34, looking for somebody who's open. And they do. They throw the ball in there for Washington. The 3-ball over in the left corner. No good. And the putback on the slam jam. Woo! That was Naz Carter, who two-handed jammed that one on the offensive rebound. Washington right now up 41-34. Naz Carter is the nephew of Jay-Z, as he has 4 points tonight. Arizona now with the ball. Top of the key now with Devonair Dutrieve, looking for somebody who's open at the free throw circle. Finally finds it as they pass the ball around the outside. Right corner three, no good from the outside, and rebounded by Washington now. So we have 13-14 left to go in the second. The Huskies with the ball, dribbling, right wing behind the perimeter. Lobs the ball inside at the right elbow, trying to back his way inside there. And a shot off the mark, no good at the bottom of the left part of the backboard. And Arizona gets the rebound now, trying to dribble inside, right-handed layup. Oh, it goes off the glass, up and in by Brandon Randolph. So he finally gets something to fall for Randolph, and he has 4 points tonight. 2 for 11 from the field for Randolph. Arizona's down by 5, 41-36, 12:40 left to go. Only 15% shooting from the field in the second half, as we have a double dribble called by Washington. So they turn it over, up by 5 now for the Huskies, 41-36 with 12:38 remaining. As right now Arizona is shooting the ball at 17%, or 15% currently in the second half. I think 2 for 13 from the field, the graphic said when they loaded it up. They're only down by 5 right now, so Arizona will get the inbound with 12:38 left to go, as the refs hand the ball over and they inbound it. So the Wildcats take it past the timeline here, and that's where Justin Coleman, as he passes the ball now to the top of the key with it. Dylan Smith dribbling. He finds Ryan Luther now trying to take the ball inside. Luther too strong. And Ira Lee had the ball in his hands for a second and tried to slam it down, and he lost control of the ball. He held on to the rim with 2 hands, but the ball wasn't in his hand, and he lost control of the ball out of bounds. So turnover by Arizona. Washington will get the ball back. Up by 5. Jumper from the right elbow. Sinks it for the Huskies, as they're up now 43-36. Arizona passing the ball around the perimeter at the top of the key with it. Ryan Luther hands the ball off to Barcelo. Right wing with the ball now in his hands. Justin Coleman feeds the ball off, and the ball goes back to Coleman. Coleman trying to dribble inside. He feeds the ball off to Luther. Luther takes the ball back outside and hands it back out to Coleman here, as Arizona has 6 on the shot clock. Ball fed inside. Nice passing inside. Baseline. Shot up and good. Up and in the low post for Ryan Luther. So Arizona's down by 5, 43-38. 11 and a half left to go in regulation. Washington with the ball into the hands of Jalen Noel, the leading scorer in this game, as he has the ball towards the Arizona logo. With it dribbling now, top of the key. Passes the ball off to Thibault. Backs his way inside. Kicks the ball back outside. Left elbow. Deep 2, no good by Noel, as there's a bunch of bodies there on the floor, and woo! With a 2-handed slam, Matisse Thibault gets the ball back with all the bodies on the floor, and he sends it home with a 2-handed jam. So Washington's up 45-38. Arizona now with the ball as they're pushing the ball around the perimeter now. Top of the key to the left wing. Throws the ball inside. Low baseline here with Luther, as he backs his way in there, puts it up, but we do have a foul called before the shot. We do have a timeout on the floor as well, so we have 10:48 remaining. Matisse Thibault on the replay with the last basket scored. Arizona and Washington fighting over the ball inside the low post, and Matisse Thibault comes away with a loose ball himself, unguarded, and 2-hand slams down the shot. So right now, Washington up 45-40 with 10:48 left to go. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So since we're on this commercial break right now, I'll go over a couple of team stats here. So Matisse Thybulle currently is second on the team in scoring for Washington, has 12 points so far tonight. And he has 3 steals, 4 blocks as well. He averages just above 3 steals per game, which is tied for first right now in all of college basketball. As we look to the leading scorer right now for the Washington Huskies, that would be David Crisp, who has 13 points tonight. And then for Arizona, leading the way with 12 points is Chase Jeter, but he's been on the bench ever since, as he's been in big foul trouble. But Arizona's still managing to stay in this game, only down by 5. So we look to the shooting in this game. Washington shooting the ball from the field, 43.6% shooting from the field compared to Arizona's 34.1% from the field. The 3 ball has gone down quite a bit tonight for Washington, 6 for 17 from behind the arc compared to Arizona's 2 for 12. Arizona, however, shooting from the charity stripes helped them out a lot in this one. 10 for 11 from the free throw line. Washington's 5 for 8 tonight. Arizona's out rebounding Washington at this point of the game, 26-23. However, the turnovers have been the big key tonight. 15 turnovers by the Wildcats, as Arizona has the lowest turnover rate inside the Pac-12. They only turn over the ball just above 11 turnovers, an average per game of 15 turnovers tonight. As the Washington Huskies are riding that 11-game winning streak, the 3rd longest streak right now in all college basketball. Washington is up 45-40 against Arizona with 10:48 left to go. Arizona did get fouled, so they go to the line for 2. Ryan Luther, or at the line for 1 since it was it 1? Was it 2? Arizona. Okay, yeah. So the refs just roll at 1 on the shot. Okay. So the first shot by Luther missed, and there was a tie-up with the ball, and possession arrow will go back to Arizona. So here we are again. Arizona with the ball, 10:44 left to go. Dylan Smith has the ball in his hands at the top of the key here as he passes the ball off left wing to Brandon Randolph. The ball is stolen once again by Washington as they take the ball past the timeline. The ball floated inside, cross-court pass up and in by Noah Dickerson. He hits that one off the glass up and in, so Washington now with a 7-point lead. Arizona now with the ball, 10:18 left to go in the second. So that ball was almost stolen on that pass, and the ball inside in the basket. They count it. And the foul, so Arizona will go to the line for 1. What a huge basket right there. Left elbow with a shooting foul. That was a foul charged by Thybulle, which you cannot afford if you're Washington. The Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year last year. And the shot went down for Arizona, so Arizona's still in this game as we look. It was Brandon Coleman right there who faked out Thybulle and got the shot to fall, and he makes it into a 3-point play as Coleman hits the shot from the free throw line, and we have a 4-point game here. Washington's up 47-43. We're almost halfway through the second half. The ball dribble inside, up and in off the glass by Washington. So now the Huskies extend their lead. So that was Naz Carter hit that one home, 49-43 for Washington. Naz is a perfect 3 for 3 in the second half. We have a timeout on the floor, so I'll update the score. So Sean Miller of Arizona calls a timeout as the Wildcats are down by 6. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel as well. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, and the Washington Huskies right now with a 6-point lead. So 9 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in this one as Sean Miller's timeout just ended. So now Arizona will get a chance to inbound the ball. 9:48 left to go. The ball is into the hands of Justin Coleman, the point guard. Throws the ball out to Devonair Dutrieve, right wing behind the arc now. Looking for somebody's open. He passes the ball at the top of the key. Brandon Randolph passes it off to Dutrieve. Now floats the ball inside. Last tipped out of bounds by Washington. So we have 7 on the shot clock now for Arizona. So Arizona will get the ball back on the inbounds. The Wildcats now down by 6. 49-43. Arizona inbound it, throws it to the right corner. The Jeter's back in the game, and he turns the ball over. Washington now in transition with the numbers. Oh, what a steal by Arizona as that ball was almost tipped out of bounds as it tipped up in the air, but what a save. Arizona gets the ball back as they pass the ball around the perimeter now. Left wing three from the outside. No good. And Washington gets the defensive rebound. Arizona almost got the offensive board with Ryan Luther. So Washington now with the ball is thrown into the low post, backing his way down in there. Bucket to fall off up the glass, up and in by Noah Dickerson. He gets fouled as well, so go to the line to see if he can complete a 3-point play. So Washington's up right now, 51-43. We have 9 minutes, 2 seconds left to go in regulation. Noah Dickerson at the line for Washington as he shoots the ball 70.7% from the free throw line this season. He has 7 points tonight, trying to make it his 8th. So Dickerson gets the ball handed from the ref here. So he's at the line, 9:02 left. Dickerson's shot, and he sinks it to take the 9-point lead for the Huskies, their largest lead in the night with 9 minutes left in regulation. The ball taken past the timeline with Justin Coleman. Passes the ball off to Dylan Smith now. Now the ball into the hands of Ira Lee as he overshoots Chase Jeter in the low post right there. The ball will go out of bounds. So another turnover by Arizona with 8:46 left to go. Washington will get the ball back here as we do have a timeout on the floor to discuss things over with 8:46 left to go. I'll update the chat here with the updated score. As this game is Washington's up by 9, 52-43. See, I think the refs are at the review board to see if the ball was tipped by Washington before it went out of bounds. It was just it was overshot over the hands of Jeter and out of bounds. But it looks like it was a turnover by Arizona, so Washington will get it back. So 18 turnovers tonight by the Wildcats. They average only 11.3 turnovers per game, and Washington turns it over. Jalen Noel tried to dribble inside, and he just collided with a player and lost control of the ball. Two-handed slam on the baseline jam by Ira Lee. Nice assist there for Arizona. They're back in it, down by 7. 52-45, 8:15 left to go. Washington with the ball. They're passing around the perimeter. So David Crisp sets up the offense here for the Huskies, dribbling with the ball at the top of the key with Crisp. Now at the free throw circle, trying to look around, and the ball was stripped from him, but Arizona will get called with a reach-in. So they'll pick up another foul with 8:03 left to go in the second. So right now, if you're just tuning in, the Washington Huskies up by 7, 52-45 against the Arizona Wildcats. So Washington will inbound the ball. 3-time Coach of the Year, Sean Miller, trying to get his team back on the right track as the ball's thrown inside to Washington, and down in the low post, we have another foul committed by Arizona, which will send number 11, Naz Carter, to the line for Washington. So it looks like right now we do have a timeout on the floor, so I'll update the chat for you guys again. But the Washington Huskies are pulling away in this one, up 52-45. Thank you all for joining me in here. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe as well to my channel. And I'll be doing this all season long. And of course, into the March Madness tournament, triple header on Saturday as well. I got for you guys in store. It'll be the first game. It'll be the revenge game for the Michigan Wolverines back at home as they'll be playing against the Wisconsin Badgers. Then the 2:30 game I have slated will be the Villanova Wildcats as they'll travel to Marquette to take on Marcus Howard and the Golden Eagles of Marquette. And then the 2-against-3 game later that night, it'll be Duke against Virginia to close things out at 6 p.m. So let's look into some of these team stats since we're on this commercial break. But Chase Jeter is leading the scoring right now for Arizona. Currently in this game, he has 12 points in deep, deep foul trouble. He's been back in this game for a little bit, but he hasn't picked up a foul, which is good because he has 4 fouls right now. Matisse Thybulle for Washington, currently second in scoring right now with 12 points in this game, and he's also in foul trouble as well as he has 4, and we saw him around like the 12-minute mark of the game check out on the bench as he picked up his 4th foul. So look to the Pac-12 scoreboard here. Since we're on this commercial break, we see that, yeah, this conference is just wide open here. Arizona State losing by 21 earlier tonight against Washington State. So Robert Franks Jr. matched his career high with 34 points for Washington State tonight. Huge upset inside Tempe for Arizona State, and this is what Arizona needs. As right now, it's basically at the clear top. It's Washington, but after that, the second bubble spot up for grabs if the Pac-12 can handle that second spot from the bubble. So Naz Carter will go to the free throw line for Washington. The Huskies are up right now, 52-45 with 7:59 left to go. So at the line, Naz Carter sinks his first one from the line. Naz Carter from the free throw line this season shooting the ball 64.6%. Second shot from the line, that one goes as well as he's the nephew of rapper Jay-Z, so he sinks both of them. Washington back to that 9-point lead. Arizona takes the ball past the timeline here as the ball is into the hands of Justin Coleman. So gets the ball back into the hands of Randolph. Passes the ball to Coleman now. Left wing. A 3 from the outside. No good. Hits the rim short. Rebounded by Dominic Green of Washington here. So Washington trying to extend this lead with the ball here. 7:32 left to go. The Huskies with the ball. And a jumper from the free throw circle. It goes down. David Crisp sinks that one for the Huskies. They have their first lead of the night by double-digit points. 56-45. The ball dribbled inside by Arizona. We do have a foul on the play with 7:17 left to go. So David Crisp making his presence felt tonight for Washington, leading the scoring with 15 points tonight. 1-1 right now since Arizona's in the bonus at the line. Got Brandon Randolph shooting the free throw, missed the shot. Offensive rebound by Ira Lee. The putback in the low post up and good. So Arizona needed that. They draw winning 9 right now. 7:07 left to go. Ira Lee has 6 rebounds, 8 points. As Washington has the ball and dribbling it with it was David Crisp, and it looks like Arizona will pick up the foul. So we have 7:02 left to go, and Washington's in the bonus, so they'll be shooting their 1-and-1 of their own as Matisse Thybulle with 4 fouls checks back into the game. He has 12 points as he's second on the team right now in points, right behind David Crisp. So at the line is David Crisp for his 1-and-1, and that shot rattles out, hits the front rim, and hit the back of the side rim towards the right, rebound by Arizona. 6:55 left to go for the Wildcats who have the ball. Passing around the perimeter now for Arizona, and We have 6:52 on the clock with a stoppage in time here. And the Wildcats will get the ball back. 6:45 left to go. 14 on the shot clock. Dribbling with the ball is Randolph. Passes the ball off to Smith. Feeds the ball low post with it's Ira Lee. Jumper by Lee. No good. Rebounded by Washington. David Crisp has the ball in his hands now as he takes a pass. The Arizona logo. Naz Carter got the rebound on the last possession for Washington. Washington now passing around the perimeter. Crisp dribbling. Now at the top of the key with it. Crisp backs his way towards the front corner. Now he dribbles inside. Feeds the ball off left corner three. Thigh ball from the outside. Hits it. Matisse Thibault with 15 right now. Tied for the leading score for the Huskies. Largest lead of the night tonight by Washington. They're up 59-47. As it looks like Washington will be 10-0 in the conference as they have a 12-point advantage here in the last 6 minutes, 4 seconds left to go. And this one, I'll update the chat here with the score. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. Now Washington's really running away with this game. As we look to the leading scorers for tonight's game at this point right now, both tied up at 15. Matisse Thibault and David Crisp with 15 points, even for the two of them. As Thibault has 4 steals, 4 blocks as well, coming into this game, tied for first in all of college basketball in steals per game, as he just averages right above 3 steals per contest. So we look to the leading scorers tonight for the Arizona Wildcats at this point in the game. Chase Jeter still stuck at 12 points right now. He has 4 fouls. However, he's in foul trouble. And that foul trouble for Jeter has led to him on the bench for a little bit, and it led to a run by Washington. And Thibault getting back into the game led to a 3-pointer as Arizona hits the shot. Right wing 3 from the outside, and now it's a 9-point game. Dylan Smith has 9. 3 for 5 from the outside, so we're not quite done yet with 5:45 left to go as Arizona cuts the Washington lead. 6 straight made shots from the field for Washington. The ball thrown inside of the baseline, and it's stolen by the Wildcats. So 5.5 left to go. Arizona with the ball, and they lose control of it as the ball goes out of bounds, but Washington will pick up the foul. As David Crisp will get charged with that one as he tried to steal the ball from Arizona from behind an Arizona Wildcat player when he was driving to the rim. So Arizona back at the line with their 1-and-1 Justin Coleman shooting from the line. 81.5% free throw shooter this season, hits his first. Now we have an 8-point game. So Arizona's on a 4-0 run. We see on the replay Justin Coleman trying to dribble inside, and Washington just picks up the foul right there. So the second shot from the line, it goes down. We got ourselves a 7-point game right now. So Coleman hit both of them. 5-0 run for the Wildcats, making this interesting. 5:18 left to go. Washington with the ball. They did hit their last 6 shots before the ball was stolen on their last possession. So Washington now dribbling with the ball as they're at the top of the key with it. Jalen Noel with the ball, passes the ball off right wing. Dribbling with the ball. Right wing 3 from the outside, hits the rim short, rebounded into the hands of Justin Coleman as Arizona now has the ball. Down by 7, and that one was almost stolen. But it's a backcourt violation ruled by the refs as Dylan Smith tries to plead his case as right there, Arizona threw the ball, and the ball rolled into the backcourt. Sean Miller, head coach of Arizona, cannot believe that. We're going to see the replay right here. So there's the pass by Brandon Randolph as he tried to throw this one back to Dylan Smith, and the ball went past the half-court line, and they'll rule that it wasn't touched by Washington. And it's an Arizona turnover again. So Washington now with the inbound as they have 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the game. They're at the top of the key with Sam Timmons in the game. He passes the ball off to Noel, who feeds the ball off to a Thibault now at the left corner and passes the ball off to Crisp. Crisp back to Noel now at the top of the key. Trying to take a man inside. A jumper, the free throw circle, and he hits it home. Nice dribbling action there by Jalen Noel. He has 10 tonight. Trying to go inside, and there's a rejection by Washington, but a foul as well. So Justin Coleman will go to the line for 2. So Arizona's down by 9. Washington with a 61-52 advantage here after that shot was made inside by Jalen Noel, who leads the Washington Huskies in average points per game, just above 16 points per game this season. So now at the free throw line for Arizona. First shot, and they're in the double bonus now. It rims out. Hit the front part of the rim by Justin Coleman. As Sam Timmons will check out of the game here for the Huskies with 4:16 left to go. Arizona and Coleman will shoot their second from the line. Justin Coleman, 81.5% shooting on the season. Hits his second one as Arizona's down by 8. Washington with the ball here, 4:12 left to go in regulation. The Huskies now with the ball behind the arc, right corner with it. Thibault throws the ball inside and up the glass, up and in is Noah Dickerson for another point in the paint or 2. Washington's up 63-53. Arizona with the ball now. Devonair Dutrieve, right wing, passes the ball off. Left wing with the ball dribbling to the top of the key. Dutrieve now trying to go inside, kicks the ball back outside. Top of the key 3. Oh, what a rejection by Thibault. But Arizona gets the ball back. So Brandon Randolph tried to take that top of the key 3-pointer right there. And as he shot the ball, Matisse Thibault just recorded his 5th block of the night. Right there, and a clean one as well. The ball was Thibault blocked the ball. The ball then went out of bounds. Last touch by Thibault. So Arizona will retain possession once we get back from this commercial timeout. I'll update the chat here with a score. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe, and spread the message about my channel. I'll be doing this all season long, live play-by-play reactions to college basketball games as the Huskies, with 3:39 left in this one, they're up by 10. So we're on a commercial break here, so during this commercial break, I'm going to check the scoreboard and see what's going on with all these games. So we've got ourselves a game at halftime right now. Wow, so these teams in the bottom of the Pac-12 really showing up tonight. So Oregon State is currently sitting at 2nd in the Pac-12, right behind Washington with a 6-3 record, and it looks like they could be going 6-4 as well, as they could be tied with Arizona State, USC, and Utah. There's been like no impressive teams in this conference besides Washington who's really come out strong. And right now, Oregon State is down against Stanford at halftime, 48-35 currently, as Oregon State has been really like quiet, like under the radar good, but when Oregon State gets down like this is troublesome to a Stanford team that right now could be 5-5 in the Pac-12. So yeah, anything can happen basically. And a huge win earlier today by Washington State as Robert Franks matched his career high in that game with 34 points, as that was a stunner 21-point victory, 91-70 over Arizona State. So we're almost back to action here. We have 3 minutes and Looks like the refs reset the clock to 3:40 instead of 3:39. So we got the score. Washington 63, Arizona 53. And what a clinic put on by Matisse Thybulle tonight. 15 points, 5 blocks, 5 steals as well. He's currently in the top 40 in all college basketball with blocks, and he's currently tied for first right now in all college basketball in steals per game. Shot from the outside, no good by Arizona, and the ball was tipped out of bounds by the Wildcats. That was Ira Lee who tried to get the ball before it went out of bounds, but he touched it. So Washington will get the ball back, up by 10 with 3.5 left. So the Huskies slowing down the tempo as they pass the timeline. Here's Matisse Thybulle, the only player right now in all college basketball with over 3.2 steals per game, and as well with 2.1 blocks per game. As right now Washington has the ball. Right wing three. This could ice it. No. Ball hits the top of the rim. Rebound by Arizona. Now the Wildcats get back to work with the balls. Justin Coleman tries to dribble inside, kicks the ball back outside. 3-ball by Randolph. Rimmed out, but Brandon Randolph will go to the line to shoot 3 as he was fouled by David Crisp, who's in foul trouble as well for Washington, who picks up his 4th foul of the night. So 2 of the leading scorers tonight for the Washington Huskies, both in foul trouble here with 2:57 left. Matisse Thybulle with 4 fouls, David Crisp with 4 as well. So shooting 3 from the line, this is a big conversion that Arizona needs, and hits his first shot from the line was Brandon Randolph, who's shooting 85% from the free throw line this season. Second one, they really needed that one to go down, and they couldn't get it as the shot hits the top of the rim, no good off the iron. So Randolph right now is 1 for 2. Shoot ball from the line during this time and hits his second one out of 3 attempts. The last 4-game losing streak, you have to go all the way back to February and March of 2009 for the Arizona Wildcats. But right now, that 43.1 shooting percentage is among the worst right now in the Pac-12 for Arizona. Washington with the ball, 7 on the shot clock. They're slowing down the tempo. And Thybulle gets called with the up and down, and the ball will go back to Arizona. So Arizona's only down by 8 right now. Matisse Thybulle thought of shooting that one from the right corner. He just went up and down with it in the turnover. So 17 turnovers tonight by Washington, 19 by Arizona. Arizona tried to dribble inside right there, and the ball goes out of bounds, but Washington gets called with the foul right here on the shooting foul. It was, that was number 12 again. Justin Coleman tried to go between 2 Washington Husky defenders, and he got the ball stripped away from him, so he'll go to the line for 2. So Arizona's only down by 8 with 2:26 remaining. Yeah, they're on a 5-0 run. With an official review, I'm going to update the score here in the chat. Also to note that David Crisp and Thybulle are both in foul trouble with 4 fouls. Coleman at the line, and the first one hits the front part of the iron. If Arizona made these free throws right now, it'd be quite closer than what the score actually is. And the second one misses as well. So it's still an 8-point game. None of those free throws could go down. 63-55. Washington gets the rebound as well. So the Huskies with a rebound into the hands of David Crisp. He passes the ball off now to Noel. Noel dribbling towards the right corner with it. Feeds the ball off top of the key with Crisp. 7 on the shot clock. Crisp driving it to the lane, and there's a foul called on the play, and looks like David Crisp will shoot 2 at the line with 2 minutes remaining, and that foul was on Chase Jeter, who is the leading scorer right now for the Wildcats, and he just fouled out with that being his 5th. So Washington will go back to the line with 2 minutes remaining. It will be David Crisp. First shot from the line, and he sinks it. Crisp is shooting 69.8% from that charity stripe this season. Second shot from the line by David Crisp, and that one gets the friendly roll off and in, and back to a 10-point lead for the Huskies. Arizona now with the ball dribbling, trying to go inside. Brandon Randolph gets it up and in off the glass with Dickerson, who oh wow, so Arizona actually gets called for the offensive fouls. Yeah, that was Brandon Randolph who tried to go past Washington defenders in the lane, and right there, Noah Dickerson takes the charge, and it's another turnover by Arizona. So Washington will get the inbound, up by 10 for the Huskies with a minute and 40 left, trying to drain out this clock, trying to go inside, left-handed layup, up and in, off the glass for Jalen Noel. He has 12 points tonight. Arizona down by 12. They really need to score. They really need some three-pointers. Alex Barcelo hits the baseline jumper for 2. As Sean Miller will call a timeout with a minute and 24 left to play. So we got ourselves a 10-point game. Washington 67. Arizona 57 with a minute and 24 left to go. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe as well. Spread the message about my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, and Washington and the Huskies trying to close out and trying to go 10-0 in conference play if they can do so, and they have a minute and 24 left to go in this game. Gonna update the chat here for you guys again. Thank you for joining me in here. And then, so after this game, we'll check the college basketball scoreboard at what's going on. And I'll go into the box score as well, do some team stats before I sign off for this game. So a minute and 24 left to go. And Washington will get the inbound here. As the ball is thrown into the hands of Dickerson, it was almost stolen by Arizona, but they do get it past the timeline here. So Thibault passes the ball off, and the ball is into the hands of Jalen Noel now, who's third on the team in scoring tonight. And last win at Arizona, you have to go all the way back to January 28th, 2012 for the Washington Huskies. As now Noel takes it inside. He tried to float it up over the top to Dickerson, but the ball goes out of Dickerson's hands, out of bounds. So that last win, you have to go all the way back to January of 2012 for Washington at Arizona, and that was a 69-67 win that they won that game. As we do have a timeout on the floor here for an official review to see who last touched that out of bounds. I'll update the chat again. Same score, just 58.4 seconds remaining. So look to the upcoming schedule for the Washington Huskies, as their next 2 games will be on the road, as they're at Arizona State. That's 10 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. And then they're at Washington State, 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's the following Saturday, February 16th. So they only have 1 game in between that 7-day span between Arizona State, Washington State. Arizona tried to go inside. They couldn't get it to fall, and now we're 40 seconds away from the Washington Huskies, improving to 10-0 in the conference, 19-4 overall. As what a season it's been for Mike Hopkins' squad. As we have 27 seconds now, 10 on the shot clock. Dribbling with the ball is Jalen Noel, and the ball is almost stolen, but Thibault gets it back for Washington, and the shot taken by Crisp at the shot clock. They'll get a shot clock violation as David Crisp tried to take that shot, and it hit the top of the backboard. So the ball will go back to Arizona here with 15.9 seconds remaining. But the damage has been done tonight. Washington with a huge win. Arizona, wow, they made a deep 3, just padding the stat line from the outside. Top of the key 3 by Devonaire Doutrieve. for Arizona, but now it's only a 7-point lead for Washington, and the clock expires as the Washington Huskies improve to 10-0 in Pac-12 play. They get their first win in Tucson since January 28th, 2012. Huge win tonight for the Washington Huskies. They move on to 19-4 overall, and maybe come Monday, depending on if they can beat Arizona State, we might see them in the top 25. So we might be seeing the Washington Huskies inside the top 25, depending on who falls out this week. We might also be seeing the Kansas State Wildcats. They're at the top of the Big 12 conference right now with that huge win earlier in the week against Kansas. But I'll update the chat right now. Washington 67, Arizona State 60. We'll go into the box score as well for the last 5 minutes before I sign off with the Washington Huskies. Huge win, and they extend that 11-game winning streak to 12 tonight, as this one has just gone final in Tucson. The 67 to 60, the Washington Huskies win this one. And we'll look at the box score to see who the leaders were for this game. And of course, the game ball here could go to 2 players. It could go to Matisse Thybulle, who was second on the team in scoring tonight. He was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year last year's. Thybulle had 15 points tonight, 5 steals, 5 blocks. Right now, Thybulle is currently tied for first in all college basketball in steals per game, and he might just upped it to be the overall number 1 right now in steals per game. He's also inside the top 40 in all college basketball in blocks per game with his 5 steals, 5 blocks tonight. Just a little bit above his average of what he does for steals and blocks. So he had 5 apiece tonight in both those categories, 15 points as well. Leading the way for the Washington Huskies was David Crisp with 17 points, shot 3 for 8 from behind the arc in this one. And then Jalen Noel also with double-digit points. He had 12 points tonight, 10 points coming off the bench. They had 20 points off the bench for Washington, 10 points by Naz Carter, and 10 points as well from Noah Dickerson. So we look to the Arizona Wildcats. They were led by Justin Coleman in the scoring with 16 points. He had 5 rebounds as well. Chase Jeter, he was going strong early on in this game. He got the first 8 points to start off the game for Arizona, but he only finished with 12. He later fouled out towards the late stages in this one. We'll look to the team stats as well before we sign off here, as Washington shot the ball from the field a solid 51% tonight compared to Arizona's 37.7% shooting percentage from the field tonight. Washington shooting 7 for 20 from behind the arc compared to Arizona's 4 for 18 shooting the 3 ball. From the free throw line, Arizona had a lot of chances, but they made 16 out of 23 shots from the line. Washington made 10 for 14 from the line. Arizona out-rebounding Washington in this one, 32-29. And the turnovers, as Arizona came into this game having the fewest turnovers in the Pac-12, as they averaged just above 11 turnovers per game. And this game, they basically almost doubled it. They turned the ball over 20 times in this one. That was a killer for Arizona. Washington as well, they turned over the ball a lot, 19 times in this one. So yeah, that's just about a wrap. So before I sign off, I'll go into the scoreboard here. So Washington right now 10-0 in the conference, and they have a 3.5 game lead on Oregon State. And I'm gonna check the scoreboard here to see how Oregon State's doing, as they could possibly make that a 4-game lead against Oregon State, as Oregon State right now is down at the half against Stanford 48-35. So Washington Huskies right now 10-0 overall on the season, and the clear-cut favorite coming out of this Pac-12. We'll look to the scoreboard before we sign off. Of course, that shocking upset that Arizona State lost by 21 against Washington State today. That helped out Washington big time, as basically there's no clear-cut number 2 team right now in the Pac-12. It appeared last week it was Arizona State after they beat Arizona, but now lots of question marks there as Arizona State loses at home at Tempe against a team with a 9-14 record that has a 2-8 record in the Pac-12. And before we sign off, we'll look at the scoreboard here, the top 25 games, as number 4 Gonzaga blew out San Francisco tonight, 92-62. So that 30-point loss does not help San Francisco at all with their chances getting into the tournament, since the Dons are on the bubble right now. And the Iowa Hawkeyes prevail, number 20th in the nation for Iowa, beating Indiana by 5, as Indiana's in trouble as well, as they were trending up towards a tournament spot after the big win on Saturday against Michigan State, and now they're trending backwards again as they just lost their 10th game this season. So that's basically it for tonight. I thank you all for joining me on the stream as the Washington Huskies victors tonight in this one by a score of 67-60 over the Arizona Wildcats. Washington improving to 19-4 overall in the season, 10-0 in Pac-12 play, and 5-2 on away games this season, whereas Arizona and the Wildcats dropped to 14-9 overall and even at 500 at 5-5 in Pac-12 play. But that's basically it for tonight, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, and feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe. Spread the message about my channel as well. The Washington Huskies coming out victorious in this one. Thank you all for tuning into my stream tonight, and have a nice night, everybody.